Welcome to AC Daily, where we're advocating for all and advocating for you. I'm Aaron Dean. New weight loss drugs are changing the lives of many who struggle with weight and the chronic conditions that go along with it. However, experts say that these medications aren't for everyone. The Advocate Channel's Mandy Gaither has 5 facts about these new drugs that everyone should know.
The demand is skyrocketing. About 1 in 8 U.S. adults have used medications like Ozempic and Wegovy, according to a recent survey, and the drugs aren't just aiding in weight management.
We see them helping with blood sugar control and diabetes. We see benefits in heart disease, and likely to see more to come.
Dr. Scott Butch is director of obesity medicine at Cleveland Clinic. He says the first thing to know about these new weight loss drugs is that they're not for everyone. Right now, the medications are approved to treat people with obesity, not those trying to shed a few pounds. Second, the drug should only be acquired through an experienced, trained medical professional. Third, this class of drugs called GLP-1 may lead to more pregnancies because of how they work. And since there's not enough research on the effect this medication may have on a pregnancy, patients should stop taking the drugs at least 2 months before trying to get pregnant. Next, there are potential side effects. Butch says that includes nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, and fatigue. Finally, Butch says insurance doesn't cover the medication for weight loss.
Bias exists around obesity that affects both the reasons why insurance companies are not covering anti-obesity medications like these, as well as why certain implementation of obesity treatments, like seeing a dietitian, for example, isn't covered by most insurance companies.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Parts of the country have been rocked with severe weather, with at least 1 tornado reported over the last 2 weeks. And hurricane season is just around the corner. The Advocate Channel's Emily Schmidt has tips to help you and your wallet.
This spring has brought some wild weather. The Storm Prediction Center confirmed at least 200 tornadoes over more than 2 straight weeks. Split-second damage requiring long-term recovery.
It's going to be just a lot of work to get this back in shape again.
The weather is changing. So even if you've never experienced a disaster before, you need to do some research on your area and see how likely you are to experience a disaster in the next few years.
Shannon Martin of Bankrate says these storms are a reminder to prepare for potential disaster by battening down your financial hatches, especially ahead of hurricane season, which begins June 1st.
For your insurance, you should speak with your agent and make sure to inquire about any coverage gaps. Depending on where you live, things like wind and wildfire might be excluded. Flood and earthquakes are generally always excluded from your policy. So if you don't have separate standalone policies, you might really leave yourself open for a big financial loss.
Martin says you can get your physical house in order as well. Get your roof inspected, test garage doors, seal gaps. Think about how to cover windows before the storm hits. The kind of disaster may change across the country. Great Plains tornadoes, California wildfires, Texas flooding. But a spokesperson for nonprofit industry association, the Insurance Information Institute, says last year homeowners insurance costs jumped around an average of 10 to 12% nationwide. And in some states, insurers are pulling out of more disaster-prone markets, leaving homeowners with fewer options, often at even higher costs. In Washington, I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
If you're in the market for a new car, expect high monthly costs to pay off that loan. The Advocate Channel's Jen Sullivan is here with tips for lowering that cost.
High interest rates are driving up car prices, but that doesn't mean a used car will land you a better deal.
The used car market has definitely had a bit of a topsy-turvy past few years.
Jessica Caldwell with auto company Edmunds says interest rates for new cars are over 7%. But for used cars, rates can be higher than 11%.
All of a sudden, we have people coming back into market, looking at what these interest rates are doing to their monthly payments, thinking, I can't afford this.
According to the most recent data from Bankrate.com, interest rates for both new and used cars have gone up nearly 3% in the last few years. But sticker prices are also higher. Caldwell says when there are fewer used cars on the market, it drives up the prices. So what can you do to help pump the brakes on the high costs? Caldwell recommends doing your homework to look at all options.
We're starting to see subsidized interest rates like a 1.9 for 60 months or 2.9, whereas a few years ago, those did not exist.
Caldwell also recommends looking at leasing. Certified pre-owned vehicles have better rates, and electric vehicles come with tax credits, which can help lower overall costs. Also, make sure you're getting your current car serviced regularly so it lasts longer. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Thank you for joining me for AC Daily. For more content that advocates for you, head over to our YouTube channel and click that subscribe tab and engage with us on social. You'll be able to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Use @Advocate Channel to join in on the conversation. I'm Aaron Dean.